Hi guys, thanks for joining me. This is a very quick how-to sort of tutorial on making this fantasy style flower. And as many of you know, I like to make new projects and additional projects to template sets that are already out there. So for those of you who have the sunflower template set, you're going to be able to make this guy here. And it looks complicated, but it's actually really not. You can do this in any colours, obviously. I've chosen to go with this sort of red and orange theme because I wanted to create sort of a fire flower, I guess. And there are a couple of things that you can do with this, which were happy accidents that I discovered when we were making these up. This comes from, where are we? There we are. Any of you recognise this? This is the calyx from the sunflower. And I'm not going to get hung up on showing you how to make the calyx because that's covered in the tutorial. But make a calyx in any colours you want. I think these would look gorgeous in maybe some purples or some greens, but what you're going to do is make one calyx, and then I'm going to show you how to roll and fold it to make this. However, if you make two, you can do this and offset the petals between the layers. Bring these guys up so they're very upward pointing, and then to join these two layers together, you want to stab through this center part only. You want to try and keep it nice and flat, but you do want to use that driving motion that goes all the way through all of the layers. And then how about making a nice little candle centerpiece? And I think a couple of those on a table or on a fireplace maybe would look quite lovely. So that's one very, very quick option for using that. If you grab your surface, this is making one of the calyx. Like I said, exactly the same as shown in the sunflower tutorial. Now to get this flower, what you're going to do is you're going to stick your finger, let's move out of the way, stick your finger in the middle and fold it in half. And you want to kind of fold it so that your petals meet up at the top, and then you're going to bring that part around. So I'm going to show you a different angle. So you're going to fold and then roll, fold and roll, and by bringing this bit together, so there's my fold and there's my sort of roll. These petals here form that star in the middle. So one more time, I'm going to fold. So you're almost folding it in half and in half again, but you need to bring it round rather than just folding it in half. Like so. Okay, so once you've got that, hold it There, these petals will look a little weird where you've got them joined, but we're going to sort that out. The first thing we need to do is just get that held in place. So just once more, fold, bring it round, there's the line. So all I'm going to do, so where I've got that line, I'm just going to stay right down at this bottom part. Actually, I'm going to use my 38 star because that's quite a heavy, that's quite a thick needle for me anyway. And I'm just going to go around and create this sort of bottom nub. And this is just going to help everything start to sit and hold together. And then get right on that line, just catching the fibres and taking them across. Turn it over, catch the fibres, take them across the other way. Scratch up your surface a little bit, just loosen some of those fibres. And then take them across, and that'll blend out that seam as well. If you've got a little bit of extra fibre, you can always add it. And this just starts getting that held in place so that you can start working on this part. And to do that, see, there's my join. Let's just bring those two together. And this is just a case of moving some petals around and joining. So just pulling them around. When you're doing the petals, you don't want to be driving like we just were. Otherwise you're going to join petals to other petals, but we do want to create that sort of circle and join everything up. So all I'm doing is just working in to some of those, between some of those petals. We're going to come into this middle part and scratch up some fibres from one of the petals. And just join them across. You could add in a little more of your colour. Again, it's starting to take shape. So just look where you want the petals to go. It's a little bit fiddly, a little bit of a rearrangement, but you start pulling them about. That's starting to look like something. Then go into the middle, drive all the way through, out the back. There you've really got something that's starting to look like a fantasy flower. My surface is wandering, but there. And you can play with the folding and the rolling and everything else so that these petals sit where you want them. So I want these to come in a little bit more, so I'm just going to accentuate that middle, the sort of the dip there. So I'm just going to point my needle down that way, tell the fibres I want you to go this way, and they will oblige, hopefully. There we go. Okay, so what I would now do is get something like probably a 20 gauge floristry wire, and like wiring up the sunflower head, grab your awl, make some holes, insert the wire, twisty. That's if you obviously want it on a stem. If you're going to be, you know, putting it on something else, you would attach it however you suits your project. And I'm going to show you how to make a little interesting stamen set. But I'm not going to stop here with this. I'm going to show you something else. Remember our little candle holder from the beginning? Well, if you make that and then add that, you suddenly end up with this explosion of loveliness, and one of the most interesting flowers I think I've seen. And so that is 1, offset the petals for 2, stab around and join all of this together, using that driving all the way through. Like so. You probably want to do it a little more than I am, but like I said, this is just a quick sort of overview. Then pop your sort of flower cluster on the top, get your arrangement, line up the petals how you want them, and then drive right down through the middle. Just keep working that until it's very well attached. Like so. And look at that amazing huge flower. Yeah, there's my hand. So if you're doing a big kind of flower like this, then again, when you get to this point, put some holes in with your awl. I would be inclined to use a 20 gauge again for that strength, and like with the sunflower, because this is quite a large head as well, maybe support it on an 18 gauge and wrap the 22 gauge loop down the 18, wrap it with a pipe cleaner. Everything that you see in the sunflower tutorial for sort of wiring and making the stem. But I'm going to show you how to make a little twirly stamen. So this is 1mm bare copper wire, and I quite like the colouring with this, so I'm going to show you how to make that with the copper wire. But obviously you can use whatever wires you want. You can wrap them in floristry tape, colour them. I think I'll show you how to do that in the daft tutorial. So grab some wire of your choice. You'll need some wire cutters and you'll need some pliers. So here's my copper wire, and it's really soft for bending. I'm going to pull off probably about 25 centimeters. And another 25. There we go. Okay, so you're going to need some pliers. If you want to do the curlies, then you'll need something that is round and the sort of diameter that you want. This is my awl, and this has got a really nice slope on it. So what I'm going to do is take the end and hold it, and then wrap it around my awl. If you've got some dexterity problems and you want to use your pliers, these are flat, but if you've got round nose pliers, grab the tip at the tip of the pliers and then roll around your actual pliers. And you need to leave a little bit of room so you can get your pliers out, so don't wrap it too tightly. But there we go. And then you end up with this sort of spring. Bend the wire so that it comes down. And then grab your flower, decide, you know, how far you want this stuck out. I'm going to do sort of a low one down here. I'm going to do a higher one as well. So I'm going to start that there, and I'm going to wind this back up. Just get that one out of the way. So just wind it up your pliers. There's lots of things that you can do with this. You can do twirls and curls and all sorts of things. So I've got my first little twirls and curls. And those are going to sit there like that. This next one I'm going to fold in half. I'm just going to do a curl in the top like that on that one. Decide how far out of the middle I want that to come. I'm going to have it sort of like that, and then again I'm going to curl all of this back down. So just using my pliers, maybe a little bit more, there we go. And then that creates one curl and that there. So when I put all of these together, what I'm going to have is 3 of these curls, and then this one kind of shoot. Now there's lots of ways that you can join them together. You can use an extra thin little bit of wire, join them in the middle. It's not hugely imperative. All I'm going to do is just get the middles and just twist the 2 together in the middle, and then fold the whole thing to face upwards. And this wire really is quite malleable. So that's going to be my sort of center cluster. That's going to fit down in there like that. And to attach it, grab some of your fibre and we're just going to get some fluff wrapped up. You don't want too much, but you do want some fluff to get all kind of tangled up in the bottom there, like so. So I'm just wrapping it around and through. So I've got that. Put your stamen down in the centre, and at this point we're not going to be jumping about. We're just going to find a place the needle goes all the way through. I'm going to go up and down in that spot and over there. There's a lot of wires in the bottom there. If you are putting this on a stem, I'm not, but if you are putting this on a stem, then you want to do the stem before you do the stamens. So I'm going to pop a little bit more down in there. That way. And this is driving all the way through, which will neatly attach that centre stamen. There we go. So there you have it. All nice and neatly held in the bottom. And then you can just arrange your stamens however you want. So there you have it. Very, very quick overview of how to make this amazing flower. Some potential home decor as well. And like I said, this is all from the sunflower template set. So if you have that template set, you'll be able to make lots of these sort of big pom flowers. There you go. Thank you very much for joining me. I would love to see some of your makes if any of you have a go at this, and I wish you all a very crafty day.